Yeah. Petra Jacobi.
Hay gente de Disney. Estoy ahí.
Vamos a copiar los micrófonos. O...
Dominio puede silenciar todos los micrófonos de una. Primero,
Well, good afternoon to most of you in Kenya and Tanzania, and good morning to those attending in this webinar in Argentina. On behalf of GIZ and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Argentina, it's a real pleasure to welcome you all to the closure of this important triangular project, strengthening capacity building to improve the livestock system of smallholder farming and contribute to agri-food sustainability in Kenya and Tanzania. Carried out by GIZ and Argentina and executed with the technical support of the National Institute of Agricultural Technology and the Secretary of Agriculture, Livestock and Fisheries of Argentina, with the Kenya Agricultural and Livestock Research Organization, the CALVO, and the Tanzania Livestock Research Institute. A special thanks to our colleagues at the Embassy for Argentina in Kenya. Without their valuable support to this initiative wouldn't be so successful. Thanks to Chargé Affairs, Ms. Cynthia Malville, and the rest of her team. We don't want to forget to anyone, so we do thanks to all participants who have contributed to make this project real. Thank you all for sharing with us this experience and good practices learned together. Without further delays, we would like to open formally this special webinar. So let me introduce Mr. Manuel Novoa, the Director of the Regional Fund for Triangular Cooperation of Latin America and the Caribbean, who has been leading different roles and responsibilities in GIZ for more than 15 years. And since March 2026, he has the honor to direct the Regional Fund for Triangular Cooperation for Latin America and the Caribbean. He has a solid expertise working for GIZ headquarters as a senior advisor in the Asia Pacific, Latin America, and Caribbean Division. Mr. Novoa, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Florencia. Honorable representatives of the Ministries of Agriculture of Argentina, Kenya, and Tanzania, Dr. Fabian Magaba Medele, Mrs. Halima Nerkabi, Señora María Comelli, Dr. Ariel Pereira, estimado embajador Mateo Estreme, qué gusto tenerte acá con nosotros, estimado Raimundo Ruiz Fontesauer, gracias por representar la embajada alemana, distinguished colleagues, dear members of the technical teams, and colleagues from GIZ offices and partner institutions. Knowledge does not create impact simply because it's shared. It's transformed. Its real value emerges when it can be adapted to a different reality and transformed into practical solutions. This process is never one way. It requires dialogue, exchange, and co-creation. It requires listening to the experiences of others, adapting what works, not just copying solutions, and learning from local knowledge along the way. That is how mutual learning happens, And that is how cooperation becomes truly meaningful. This is often one of the greatest challenges in international cooperation. Every context is different. Geography matters, climate matters, cultural transformation and traditions matters. The way communities work, produce, and organize themselves also matters. As a result, successful solutions cannot simply be transferred from one country to another. They must be adapted, tested, and improved together with the people who will finally use them. This is especially true in dry and semi-arid areas where environmental conditions can vary significantly and where communities face complex challenges related to forage availability, land degradation, and climate resilience. In this context, adaptation is not an option, it's a need. And that is exactly why this project is so important, because it successfully combines all these elements: the exchange of knowledge, the co-creation of solutions, the adaptation of experience to local realities, and the mutual learning that emerged between Argentina, Kenya, Tanzania, and Germany. My name is Manuel Novoa. I am the director of the Regional Fund of Triangular Cooperation with partners in Latin America and the Caribbean. And it is a great pleasure for me to welcome you also to this closing event. Today, we are not only closing a project, we are celebrating a partnerships built on learning, cooperation, and trust between Argentina, Kenya, Tanzania, and Germany. The project strengthening capacity to improve smallholder livestock systems and agri-food sustainability in Kenya and Tanzania, it's pretty much a good example of what triangular cooperation can achieve between regions. Argentina, Kenya, and Tanzania face similar challenges in livestock production in arid and semi-arid areas. These include limited forage availability, land degradation, and the growing impacts of climate change. Triangular cooperation created a space where countries and communities could share knowledge, technologies, and practical experiences while learning from one another and developing solutions together. Each partner played a very important role. INTA, for example. In Argentina, INTA led the technical design of the project, developed guidelines, and supported the exchange of knowledge. It also organized technical visits to laboratories, research stations, and family farms in Argentina. Kenya and Tanzania provided the land for the demonstration sites and mobilized researchers, extension workers, and farmers to support implementation. Germany, through GIZ and the Regional Fund, provided financial and logistic support, coordination, and methodological guidance. This combination of capacities and resources is one of the strengths of triangular cooperation. One of the most important achievements of this project was the establishment of demonstration plots, 2 in Kenya and 1 in Tanzania. These are much more than demonstration sites. They are places where researchers, farmers, and institutions can learn from testing forage varieties and technologies sustainable to local conditions. They also strengthen the capacity of institutions, such as Calro and Taliri, to engage with national and international research networks, expand collaboration opportunities, and continue generating knowledge beyond the lifetime of the project. The participatory approach was key to the success of this project. New technologies were discussed together. Their advantages and their challenges were analyzed, and decisions were taken jointly. This helped ensure that the solutions developed were practical, were relevant, and they were useful for the local communities. And this is how what we call state of the art is created. A good example in the adaptation of Argentina's is the adaptation of Argentina's selective bush clearing methodology at the Calro Kiboko Research Station in Kenya. In arid and semi-arid lands, the uncontrolled spread of woody vegetation can significantly reduce forest productivity and forage productivity. During the exchanges carried out under this project, partners identified this is a common challenge and explored practices that had been successful applied in Argentina. Building on this experience, the team adapted bush management techniques to the Kenyan context. What happened next was also very encouraging. The demonstration plot has shown improvements in herbaceous plant diversity, biomass production, soil conditions, and accessibility, while also contributing to greater ecological resilience. This was much more than a technical exercise. It was a clear example of how a solution can travel, be adapted, and become useful in a new place. As I said, it is not only a one-way learning. INTA experts also gained new insights from forest management practices across diverse cultures and environments. In the medium term, Argentina may also benefit from the plot's results. And the country uses African pasture species and can learn from their performance under climate-related stresses. Another important achievement was the creation of strong multi-actor networks. Ministries, research institutions, international organizations, local NGOs, farmers, universities, and extension services all contributed to the project. This network will remain long after the project ends. The project also leaves behind something equally important: strong institutions, stronger capacities, and a solid basis for potential research and knowledge sharing. The demonstration sites established through the project create opportunities for continuous research, learning, and collaboration, while the data generated can contribute to future policies and strategies related to rangeland management, forage production, climate adaptation, and livestock development. In this way, the project contributes to food security, sustainable use of natural resources, and stronger international partnerships. I would like to express my sincere thanks to the authorities of the Ministries of Agriculture in Argentina, Kenya, and Tanzania, and to the Ambassador Mateo Extreme, and the team of the Dirección General de Cooperación Internacional, especially Florencia Segura, Mariana Álvarez, and Andrés Lagarde, for their continued support. My gratitude also goes to the team from INTA, Calvo, and Taliri, Roxana Ledesma, Fernando Guzmán, Juan Pablo Aberghini, Bosco Kidake, Mercy Chebet, Eric Komba, Jonas Kitsima, and Juanavita Jambia for their commitment and dedication throughout the project. And I would also like to thank the GIZ officers in Kenya and Tanzania and Argentina, especially Petra Jacobi, Helene Pleinik, Vincent Odero, Maria Fernanda Lascano, and Alejandra Kern for their support. Without GIZ, strong global presence and local infrastructure, a trans-regional project like this one will be much more difficult to implement. My thanks also go to the Embassy of Argentina, Kenya, and to the Embassy of Germany in Buenos Aires, and to Harold Lema and his team in Ricolto for their value contributions. Triangular cooperation is behind more than project results. It creates trust, strengthens institutions, and helps successful solutions reach more people. To innovate and create real lasting change, we need concrete examples that show what is possible. I am very glad that we now have an example like this one to share, an example that inspires us, connects us, and moves us. That is perhaps the greatest value. Thank you for your commitment, and congratulations to all of you for what you have achieved together. Thank you very much. I hope we have an excellent event. And please join me in a warm round of applause to this remarkable team that made this achievement possible.
Thank you, Mr. Mateo Clement. He's the National Director of International Cooperation at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Argentina, who has fully supported this triangular initiative. Ambassador Clement, the floor is yours.
Good morning, good afternoon. It's for me a true honor and a pleasure to participate in this meeting, which brings us together with representatives from Kenya and Tanzania and Germany, and the technical institutions that made this project possible. Our National Institute for Technology, a National Agricultural Technology Institute, the Kenya Agricultural and Livestock Research Organization, and the Tanzania Livestock Research Institute. For us, this moment is not merely an administrative milestone. It is the celebration of a highly significant collective achievement. And this is, as Manuel mentioned, triangular cooperation in motion. Before addressing the project we closed today, allow me to highlight its direct predecessor, the project development of the livestock sector in Kenya, executed between 2018 and 2023. This bilateral initiative, driven by INTA, with financing from the Argentine Fund for International Cooperation, FOAR, on the Argentine side, and led by Cairo on the Kenyan side, led the technical institution foundations upon which this triangular project we culminate today was built. In 2024, the excellent results achieved were explicitly acknowledged by His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, William Samoei Ruto, in a note addressed to the President of the Argentine Republic, emphasizing the contribution of Argentine cooperation to improving livestock and agricultural production in Kenya. Today, we proudly close the first triangular technical cooperation project that Argentina and Germany have carried out jointly in Africa. In this initiative, we join efforts with Kenya and Tanzania, counting on the valuable co-financing of the German Federal Ministry for Economic Cooperation and Development, the BMZ, and the operational support of the Germany of the German Corporation for International Cooperation, the GIZ. Throughout 4 stages, including field missions, technical workshops, and virtual seminars, we promoted a rewarding exchange
Dr.
of
Chota,
knowledge on forage management, genetic improvements, and production technologies. We are particularly proud that as a tangible result of this process, demonstration plots have been established in Tanzania and Kenya, as Manuel mentioned. These plots, which remain active and managed by local professionals, reflect the consolidated capacities and technical commitment of our African partners. That is ultimately the true measure of this project's success and has to do with sustainability. On behalf of the National Directorate for International Cooperation of Argentina, I wish to express our most sincere gratitude to all the cooperating partners who made this alliance possible, to the authorities and teams from Germany for their trust, both here in Argentina, in Santiago de Chile, and of course in Germany and Kenya and Tanzania. And for the excellent operational work of the GIZ in successfully planning and executing the initiative, to INTA for making this outstanding technical expertise available and ensuring the continuity of activities, and most especially to the institutions of Kenya and Tanzania, the Cairo and Tahiri, and the respective ministries, for their leadership on the ground and their openness to technical dialogue. Finally, I extend my gratitude to our embassies in Kenya and Germany, which consistently facilitated the work of the professionals in the team I lead. I would like to conclude by stating that Argentina wishes to continue deepening the cooperation ties we have developed. I am convinced that the installed capacities, the institutions' networks built, and above all, the bonds of mutual trust generated over these years constitute a solid foundation for jointly creating new initiatives for the benefit of our people, and in particular for the peoples of Argentina, Kenya, Tanzania, and Germany. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ambassador, for your highlights. So before we continue, we see that we have representatives connected from different international agencies. So we also want to greet all of you. So now allow me to give the floor to Mr. Raimundo Ruiz Pondesauer. He belongs to the Economic and Cooperation Department from the Embassy of Germany in Argentina. He has helped us a lot at the beginning of the process. So Mr. Raimundo Ruiz Pondesauer, the floor is yours.
Yes, I will speak very briefly because I think my colleagues said a lot of things. I want to thank the Argentinian Ministry of Foreign Affairs for all the great work they did and they put into this project. I want to thank the JZ for the role it plays in the implementation. I think we live in a difficult world with many challenges, both environmentally, politically, diplomatically, and I think in these difficult times it's important to cooperate. It's not always easy, but it is important. And I think the Triangular Fund gives us just that. It gives us a way to work, to find new partners, to build new structures, because only by working with each other we will be able to face these challenges. And our federal government is convinced that by creating these networks, by connecting new people, that creating new structures, new institutions, we will be able to face these challenges, as I said. And I think this project is special. I remember when it first started, that it was something that at the embassy it surprised us a little bit to see these ties between Argentina and Africa and Kenya and Tanzania being built. I think it shows how far this cooperation can go. And well, we are glad that it had all the success my colleagues just mentioned. So I thank everybody who's here. I think the great number of people present show the success of the project, and I hope that we have an interesting exchange in the next hour. Thank you.
Thank you, Raimundo. So after this inspiring opening words, we continue with the first panel, which is being moderated by Alejandra Kern and González Encatraí.
Hey, thank you for this inspiring opening remarks. I'm really grateful to have been part of this project. I would like to thank the entire team of the Regional Fund for Triangular Cooperation for the strong support, particularly my colleague Maria Fernanda Lascano, who was directly involved in the first mission, my colleagues of GIZ offices in Kenya and Tanzania. I saw Helene, Petra, Vincent, Odero. They were very, very helpful with the project. Their teams, there are also a lot of GIZ colleagues that's working behind the scenes who make every step possible. So I want to thank all of them. But now it's time to hear the actors of the project, the main actors of the project, who will share the main learnings and achievements. And before giving them the floor, I would like to sincerely thank them for their commitment, their patience, flexibility, and adapting to diverse contexts, and the excellence the excellent work they have delivered. So now, first, I'm pleased to introduce Fernando Guzmán and Roxana Ledesma of the National Institute of Agricultural Technology. They are going to present. First of all, I would like to say that Fernando Guzmán is an agricultural engineer. He has a master's degree in business management. He's senior specialist in rural development and territorial management, and he has extensive experience in livestock system, rural lands, and international cooperation. Roxana Ledesma has a PhD in agroscience. He's currently researcher in range and management silvopastoral system. Part of the team is also Juan Pablo Alberghini. He's a veterinarian with master's degree in small ruminant production and a researcher specializing in animal production and health livestock system in arid and semi-arid regions. So this is the INTA team, and I give the floor to them for the presentation. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Alejandra. Good morning for all of you in Argentina, and good afternoon for all of you in Africa, and Kenya and Tanzania. And thank you very much to the authorities present for their kind and appropriate opening words. Well, it's a pleasure to be here now presenting the outputs of this important project for all of us. We call this project Sustainable Livestock Production System for Smallholder Farmers in Kenya and Tanzania. And now I will start presenting some of the main outputs. Please, the next, Alejandra. Next slide, please.
Next one.
Yeah, please, Alejandra, next slide.
You can see that because I moved.
Yes.
I already moved.
Well, oh yes.
The mission one.
Well, the main purpose of the project was to strengthen. No, the previous one, please.
The previous one.
Yeah.
Now. Project purpose.
Yes, the main purpose of the project was to strengthen the technical capacity necessary to improve livestock system of smallholder farming in Kenya and Tanzania. Next, please. We think about this cooperation like a table supported by 3 legs. One of these legs are the missions. We have already had 3 missions, one from Kenya and Tanzania to Argentina. Then during these missions, we visited the provinces of Santiago del Estero and La Rioja. And then we visited INTA experimental stations in both provinces and also private farms. And the objective of the missions with which we obtain with missions to enhance the capacities of researchers, extension agents, policymakers, and producers through the technical exchanges, including the visits to experimental stations in the National Institute of Agricultural Technology, the Kenya Agricultural and Livestock Research Organization, and the Tanzanian Livestock Research Institute in Tanzania. During these missions, we visited, as I said, the first mission was from Kenya and Tanzania to Argentina. The second was from Argentina to Kenya and Tanzania. We also have the opportunity to have workshops. And then in the third mission also was from Argentina to Kenya and Tanzania. And in these opportunities, it was possible for us to discuss about the activities of the project, to run some workshops, and to know the different technological proposals that we have in our countries focuses on the same problems, of the shared problems that we have in the livestock sector of the arid and semi-arid areas of our countries. It was also possible to make some interviews. We have some interviews with farmers, livestock farmers in Kenya and Tanzania, also to researchers and also to extensionists in both countries. Next, please, Alejandra. Another leg of this table that we consider the cooperation projects was the workshops from the first time, because we have one of the main objectives is to improve the capacities of our technical teams. We ran a lot of workshops. During 24, we visited both countries, Kenya and Tanzania, and then we ran workshops in each country, which we call appropriate technologies to improve forage supply in livestock systems in arid and semi-arid zones. In this workshop, the activities was fostered to identify the main restrictions and challenges that the livestock sectors of these areas are facing, then to analyze in a foresight analysis using backcasting technique. We design a desired future scenario, and then it was possible to make a practical roadmap to achieve this future. Also, we have workshops with technical capacities, increasing the technical capacities. On field, we look in the trials in each experimental stations in the 3 countries. Next, please, Alejandra. The other important leg of this table are the demonstration plants that was installed in Kenya and Tanzania. From the very beginning of the project, we think that it was very necessary to be able to establish demonstration plots, to be able to conduct research, training, but also in these activities with the participation of farmers with the tacit knowledge. In these demo plots that Roxana, Bosco, and Jonas will explain deeply, it was possible to work technological proposals, not only from the scientific field, but also from the tacit knowledge that has been accumulated along the generations and the years. It was possible to install 2 demo plots in Kenya and also 1 in Tanzania. Next, please. There are some additional results, knowledge dissemination and international positioning. It was possible to engage with. There was also engagement with international organizations. In the photo that we are seeing in the slide, it was during a meeting in the Argentinian embassy to Kenya with the participation of representatives from the institutions involved in the project and also from international organizations. And it was possible for us to talk about the activities involved in our project. and also to analyze possibilities to engage and to look for new partners. We also wrote some papers. We present the result of at the International Rangeland Congress in Australia last year. We have also presented a paper to the Australian Rangeland Society Conference of 2026. And it was also possible to gain visibility about the cooperation dialogue with the different organizations. And also we presented the project, Halima Nenkari from Kenya presented the project at the Regional Conference on Trilateral Cooperation with Latin America and the Caribbean in Brazil in 2024. Well, now I will give the floor to Roxana Ledesma. We will talk about the different technologies in the different countries and the conditions that of this arid and semi-arid lands in Kenya, Tanzania, and also in Argentina. Roxana, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Are you hearing me?
Yes.
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 Thank you. Well, I'm Roxana Ledesma. I work here in INTA in Santiago del Estero. It's the province in the north of Argentina. And I am very happy to participate in this project, which has been for me a very enriching personal and professional experience. And in this part, I will tell you about our technical exchange, and some identified and applied technologies used in this project. The next, please, Alejandra. Okay. First, we recognize several similarities between the arid and semi-arid lands in our countries related to our ecological context, production system, forage use and production, and management strategies. As you can see in the photos on the right side are from Argentina. In Argentina, more than 70% of the continental territory are arid and semi-arid rangeland lands. And we have here different regions, for example, Monte region, Dry Chaco region, Patagonia region, which have this condition, our ecological conditions. In Kenya, ASAL's arid and semi-arid lands cover more than 70% of the country, and that is key for livestock and livelihood. And also in Tanzania, most of the country is semi-arid. The majority of the country, land of the country are semi-arid and arid rangeland, with a precipitation less than 800 millimeters per year. Here in our country, livestock farming in the Dry Chaco region, for example, is mainly developed on forest, grasslands, and savanna sites in different states of degradation. Well, in the previous, you had some photos about these different. Okay, thank you. These different these different ecological sites and different states of degradation. Also in Argentina and Kenya and Tanzania, no? And these states of degradation as a result of series of climatic and anthropic disturbance. Now, the next, please. Okay. Let's take a quick look at the livestock production system in each country. In Argentina, extensive cow-calf operation dominate, with sheep and goats also present, especially in the drier regions. Grazing is continuous and rotational also. In the Cushion region, for example, as you can see in the photo in the lower side, right side and lower and down, in the Cushion region, we even find forms of pastoralism adapted to mountains terrains. In Kenya and Tanzania, in the photo on the left side, pastoralism and agro-pastoralism are the backbone of the production, including camels, cattle, goats, and sheep. and the herds are highly mobile, allowing producers to exploit the forest resources and water points across large areas. This difference that we can see are very important, but they also show us that all three countries share the challenge of balancing mobility, forest use, and water availability under highly variable climates. But the first and most critical issue is the forest deficit in the three countries, because the seasonal and interannual variability in rainfall creates a mismatch between forage availability and livestock needs. And this leads directly to low meat and milk production, as animals lose body condition especially during dry season. And these similarities allow us to highlight key challenge and implementing solutions. The next, please. The technology used in this project to improve the forest productivity have emerged from the collective knowledge and experience of researchers, extension agents, and producers from Kenya, Tanzania, and Argentina. And during the course of the project, it was possible to visit concrete examples of their application in situ, both in experimental station of INTA, Calro in Kenya and Taliri in Tanzania, as well as in farmers' fields. As you can see in this photo, two technology, enclosure or fencing and rotational grazing, are important tools for forest management and restoration. By fencing specific area, we can exclude animals temporarily and allow vegetation to recover. And once the pasture recovers, this enclosure can be reintroduced into the grazing cycle. And in many cases, enclosures allow to increase biodiversity, improve soil quality, and enhance the resilience of production system. And the next, please. Bush encroachment is a very common problem in arid and semi-arid lands of our country. In the following presentation, Dr. Bosco Kidake from Kenya and Dr. Jonas Kisima from Tanzania will refer to this problem and how the technology are used in the demonstration plot to control or to manage this problem. Should cover reduction can be made manually, as you can see in the first photo from the left to the right, or by means of mechanical practice such as roller chopping, as you can see in the second picture. Both pictures are from here in Argentina, in Santiago del Estero and La Rioja province. In this picture, the farmers, in the first picture and in the second, the farmer use a small chopper that can be pulled by animals or a small tractor. In the third photo, this is in a visit of Halima and Bosco here in Santiago. The machine is bigger, you can see, but the function is the same. In both cases, these practices are applied to reduce shrub encroachment and restore herbaceous cover. By selectively removing woody plants, we create space for grasses to reestablish. Roller chopping can significantly increase forest productivity and improve soil conditions while maintaining ecosystem function. And this intervention combined fencing form part of a broader restoration approach. The next, please. And the last one. During this project, we identified technologies applied in our countries, and we selected some of them for implementation in experimental demonstration plots. And our colleagues will refer to this. Okay, thank you very much. Asante sana in Swahili.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Roxana and Fernando, for the presentation. No. Now I would like to introduce Mr. Bosco Kidaki, and I hope, Bosco, you are there.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, and yes.
Can I be
Mr.
allowed to share my screen?
Yeah. You would like to share yourself?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, I start presenting Mr. Boko Kidake Kizambo and also Mercy Chebet. Bosco Kidake is agricultural research in natural resources management and fodder production, currently working at Karo Dryland Center in Eastern Kenya, and he is currently serving as assistant director there. And Mercy Chebet, she was also involved in the work of the demonstration plot. She's a research scientist based in Calvo, Kiboko, and she's trained as environmental scientist. Welcome. The floor is yours, Bosco. And
is the presentation visible?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. As I've been introduced, my name is Bosco. I'm doing this on behalf of my colleagues, Mercy, Dan, and other colleagues who might not be here. But just as an introduction, I'll be quick because I just have 15 minutes. Calro is is actually the premier agriculture research organization, and our mandate is to coordinate and conduct agricultural research and also livestock, and both are of strategic importance nationally. Ours is mainly to provide solutions to agricultural challenges. So under the Triangular Cooperation project, we established demonstration plots. I'm trying to present the results that we had at Calro Kiboko. And part of the purpose of this demonstration plots is to offer a situation or an area for other stakeholders that can also come for training and also for technology transfer. And these stakeholders include the farmers, students, and others. So it's also part of institutional capacity building, because in the project we were looking at how we can improve our organization through having these particular demo sites, and also training for our technical staff through our own exchange also to the other countries in Kenya, Tanzania, and Argentina. And also the purpose of these demo plots are also not just being set up for training, but we are also doing a lot of data collection. And we want to understand the different effects of these interventions, technological interventions on the environment, including soils, vegetation, interactions, and so forth, because ours is an institution of research. But the main focus overall was to test different forage management practices and technologies for improved rangeland production. Technically, we did have different approaches, including engagement workshops, as was mentioned earlier on by Fernando. The demonstration sites, which were set up at Calro Kiboko Farm. Initially, these were supposed to be set up somewhere in a local farm's interior, but conditions were not favorable. So we set them up at Calro. And then we also made some farmer visits, is one of the approaches of which we were doing an exchange on learning from each other, farmers learning from each other. So we visited farmers within here, within Makueni and also Kajiado counties, and also in Argentina. And also peer-to-peer learning was another approach we did. And because you can see the photos, we were interacting a lot through these workshops, visiting Argentina and also Tanzania, and also those colleagues from Tanzania visiting us, as well as all the African teams visiting to Argentina. Just part of the photos, as you can see, one of our colleagues who visited Kenya, we visited a farmer in Makueni who was doing some feedlotting using local forage resources. And as a continuation, we did establish different grass species. These are just rangeland grasses, which are very drought tolerant and good for livestock production in these particular regions. As you've been told, there are areas which are semi-arid in nature, and production is actually limited by moisture. So we looked for species and legume species which were very good and be able to establish using rainfall conditions. Luckily, as you can see in the photos, the conditions were favorable. All our grasses established very well. These photos you are seeing here as actually part of the demo plots. They are not photos I took elsewhere, but I just took within the demo plots. And other legume species also that were involved. There are legume species which are very good for livestock production, including lucerne and other indigenous legume varieties such as butterfly, pea, and also sriracha. Those are some of the legume species that were established at the plots, and you can see these are photos I took actually early this year, sometime in March, and you can see they were doing very well. They are 5x5 plots, but the whole demo plot is actually 2 acres with different species, as you can see next. Initially, this is what we started with. It was just last year in May. We prepared land actually under the support of GIZ, which has been very supportive, GIZ Kenya. Very supportive. We did establishments using our own technical staff around and interns within the organization. Eventually, we ended up having some very nice demo plots at our site. As you can see, it stretches as far as your eyes can see. And these are different grass varieties which we planted. We normally use these particular areas for visits, our own studies, our own experiences, teaching students, teaching farmers, teaching other technical stuff from other organizations coming around. As I can see in the photo on the left is my colleague, one of the range grasses. They grow to tall sometimes. She's as slightly above 1.5 meters, but you can see the grasses are almost taller than her. And myself, you can see in the photo on the right, I was just walking the demo plots the other day in March when they were at their peak production. Other than that, we did some management interventions because Roxana has mentioned about bush encroachment being a very big common problem in the tropics. It is becoming a big problem because there's a lot of predictions, and you can see evidence when you drive around. You can see a lot of bush coming up all over. So this is a photo we took last in 2024 when the team from Argentina came around to one of the sites where we did some interventions on bush encroachment. And she was walking through. She could not walk through the field because it was too bushy. The same happens with livestock. They cannot go through these and access any forage. So as a result, we did some interventions by doing some selective clearing using manual approaches, but not just clearing, because once you clear, from a technical perspective, there's something you should do to the ground so that you are able to utilize the empty spaces that have been cleared. So this was last year in February. The photo you're seeing on the right, and there's a lot of clearing which was going on. But after that, we did some interventions in the bare patches that had been left on the ground. Remember, this field is the same one you've seen my colleague walking around there. So after that, we did some manual clearing, did some other interventions using our normal tools like the easily accessible equipment that farmers can use within the local environment. Fenced the site, and then you can see my colleagues, technical staff, and also youths who were working with, doing some little scratching of the surface and introducing some different species of seeds such as Cenchrus ciliaris, Maasai lovegrass, in what we call microcatchments. And you can see those oxbow-shaped structures. As you can see, this is the same field that you saw earlier on, is the demo plot, which was the one for bush encroachment. The first one was just for grasses only, and we plowed land and planted, but this one was for bush encroachment. We did not plow. We just cleared the plots and put in some grasses by doing some tree planting. And also the tree planting was for appropriate species. You can see my colleague who is called Dan Rob. He was doing some planting of some trees which were for fodder, because once you clear the area remains bare. So it needs some interventions to make sure that it's sustainable. Eventually, you can see my colleague with some other youths who are doing some reseeding initiatives by putting in some seeds of appropriate grass species in the same plots. And after, I think it was after 3 months, we had some results. This is after germination. After 3 months, this is what came up. And these are the photos I took actually this year now. These are the same plots, and you can see for the results, some grasses have actually come up. If you compare with the first photo where my colleagues from Argentina came around, it's a totally different environment because we selected trees which were not appropriate, which were not good for livestock, and left in species which are good for browse. And this is an 8-acre plot found at Kalro Kiboko currently. So this is the current state of the plots. I took them 2 weeks ago, photos. But other than that, we've done some trainings because we keep a lot of records of people who visit these particular sites.
Kuvuna mbegu ndo tunavuna
Yes,
nazo,
yes, yes.
lakini it's like kuvuna mbegu kunaelekea mwisho hivi.
Somebody mute that colleague.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's ready.
Sorry for that. I think that's one of the colleagues. Yeah. So I was talking about the number of people who have visited that particular time for the last 1 year, because we established that plot last year between March and May, and up to now, this is 2026. For the last 1 year, we've been having visitors coming to the institution and visiting that particular site. So I did some small summary, quickly did a summary of the different kinds of categories of visitors who we have taken to that place to showcase the technologies of rangeland management and forage production. And there were farmers who visited the area, and you can see the totals. On the right is the total number of farmers we've trained there so far. And sometimes we take them to different sites. So these ones are the ones who I just decided to take there because their own aim was for this. We receive farmers for different purposes. So we receive students from different colleges, secondary schools, primary school kids, and also other technical staff who come from other institutions who just want to see what's happening. So these are some of the people we're visiting this particular. And you can see through gender disaggregation is not that far off, it's not equal. Showcasing how gender also is a big issue in this particular region, where everybody now is taking cognizance of the challenges facing livestock production. Just to give you a few photos of the students we take to these same particular plots, as you can see, myself and my colleagues taking through students in these particular plots, and also my colleagues also visiting the site sometimes just to see what's happening in the same plots, and also maybe collect some data here and there. These are colleagues I work with, and it's a nice area because I talked about institutional capacity building. So as an institution, we are very grateful to GIZ and the project, because for us, we are proud having such demo sites on station and on the environment around which we are living. Of course, we also have technical outputs, as Fernando talked about, presenting in conferences, in international conferences. We are also having our own cultural scientific conference, which is supposed to take place in the next 2 weeks. And we'll be presenting results of the project for 2 papers, which I've written there. Those are the titles. They were reviewed by peers, and they'll be being presented between 15th and 18th of June. One was written by one of our younger colleagues called Daniel Robb. He's an ecologist by training, and the other one is called Mercy. Both of them focusing on the demo plot, specifically the data that we've been generating for the last 1 year. One is about morphological performance of grasses. The other one is integrated bush management and reseeding. Just checking on how we can get this information out to other people other than ourselves at the station. We also write annual reports for our work, which keeps us occupied, of course, because they are technical reports. Yeah, finally, when I talk about the bush management, I had mentioned about the whole aspect of what we did in the plots. And you can see these are just same plots of the same area. And I talked about having students who are also on internship and attachment visiting us, and also being attached to the station. These are the same plots they do help us collect data as much as they also learn. We also did community engagements with the teams from Argentina. We visited farmers, visited one of other plots of ours here at Calro, and visited also farmer farms with the same technologies that we've been training farmers in their demo plots. Some farmers, the same farmers went and also implemented the same in their own farms. See the team which came last year, we visited to one of the farms where a farmer had done bush management and also pasture establishment, explaining to us there what happens. Now, on the terms of inputs, of course, for farmers, we expect them to have better feed availability. As you can see in this particular photo, there is enough feed for livestock. Also reduced costs. They don't need to buy feed. Also overall improved livestock productivity. But on students, these demo plots have assisted us on hands-on learning. We just don't learn in class. We take them on the field and they do data collection, they analyze, and they write reports about it. And this also enhances their skills. And also this has enabled them, like the demo plot I have, there's a student who was approached, he wanted to do a master's study there. and do some other stuff there. So these are research opportunities I'm talking about. Then for the institution, of course, it's a resource for teaching and also enhanced fodder and seed production, because we are doing a lot of seed production from not just the plot, but other plots of which we established alongside these particular demo plots, using the same time and resources from GIZ. So what do we think about this? We will continue using these demo plots, of course, for long-term data collection. That's what we are going on right now. Our colleagues who are presenting papers, they are now in charge fully for the long-term perspectives, and also opportunities for further research, because when we take farmers there and when we talk to colleagues from different institutions, the other day, Vincent from GIZ linked me up with an officer from the GIZ office, saying that we can also partner in one or two things in terms of livestock production. Those are opportunities because they can see what we've done and the potential of which we can do this. Overall, I think the project has shown that there is power in learning by doing. So for us, we've been doing it practically, not just small 1 meter plots for demonstration, but bigger plots, more than 2 acres and 10 acres. And these plots were not just fields, but we built classrooms in the open sky where farmers and students could see, touch, and practice the future of livestock production. And when knowledge is shared, we can say that communities grow together and stronger. So the demo plots are not just the end of the project, but we believe they're beginning towards a better cooperation, better interactions, and better improved livestock productivity in the arid and semi-arid lands. Calro Kiboko being a premier research organization for the arid and semi-arid rangelands. I would like to acknowledge GIZ, Deutsche Gesellschaft for International Zusammenarbeit. These are they really assisted us in this particular project through funds and also coordination from the Nairobi office. The Kenya Agriculture and Livestock Research Organization, through the Director General, they've been very supportive of us from the headquarters and also the management at the institution on the ground. At the Ministry of Agriculture, I think Halima will be saying something about that. They've been also very supportive, and also partners in the project, including those from Tanzania, Argentina, INTA, and also just other colleagues that we've interacted with through workshops, seminars, and online meetings. You realize in the first meetings, we really had very many, including the universities and other technical staff. And also colleagues at the institution where I work. Thank you very much. And students who have been coming around on attachment, they've been very accepting and receptive of what we propose to do together with them. And then overall, farmers and livestock keepers. Thanks for your time. I hope I haven't taken a lot of the time.
Thank you, Bosco. Thank you. It was a really, really great presentation. Nice photos, incredible data about how you're using the plot. So thank you very much. And also the work for the research that are also producing papers and research documentation. Thank you. Thank you. Now I would like to introduce Dr. Jonas Kisima. Are you? Yes, are you there? Dr. Jonas Kisima is Principal Researcher Office Specialist in Pasture Agronomy and Regulaland Science, was a technical scientist in the project, and he was part of Taliri. He's now retired, and also he works together with Manavita Omari Jambia. She has a bachelor on range management. She's currently head of pasture department in the Tanzania Livestock Research Institute, Taliri, in the northern zone. She was also doing a wonderful work in the field in the demo plots. Jonas, the floor is yours. Are you there? Yes, I see you, and I see your presentation. I think you are muted.
Oh, I think you can.
Yes.
You can. I hope you can hear me well.
Yes, we can hear you, Jonas.
Yes. Thank you very much, everybody. I'm happy to be part of this meeting. My name is Jonas Kisima, as introduced, and I think good afternoon, Argentina now, and good evening, Kenya and Tanzania. I'm very happy that I'm going to present on behalf of my colleagues from Talili and other colleagues whom we have been working together, Rikoto and everybody in Tanzania. And I'm going to present on achievement of demo plot in Tanzania, where Talili as implementer and the consultant Rikoto, who was able to do a kind of installation of facilities to help Talili to implement the project. The project was enhancing the capacity building to optimize smallholder livestock systems and advance agriculture food sustainability in Kenya and Tanzania. Main objective was to make sure we develop appropriate technologies for improving forage supply in pastoralists and smallholder livestock systems in Tanzania specifically. And main activities done in Tanzania was to visit our leaders, Professor Komba, Director General of Talili, and Dr. Mrutu from the Minister of Livestock visited Argentina as part of the project mission. But we also managed to be engaged in the workshop, which was organized by INTA Argentina in Arusha, which was involving all the different stakeholders in Tanzania, Talili, Minister of Livestock, and the other stakeholders, NGOs, and everybody, which was done in Arusha. But we also managed to conduct a field visit in Siha district and the Longido district, which are the most northern district which have many pastoralists who face the shortage of forages during the dry season. But during the visits also, the mission also managed to visit Talili headquarters in Dodoma, Minister of Livestock in Dodoma, but also West Kilimanjaro, which was the Talili center in the northern part, which was implementing center of the project. During the project, we also managed to do bush clearing in 10 acres, removing invasive species, which is the problem in the northern part of semi-arid areas. And we also managed to oversaw in our demo plot. But also there was a mission to Kenya where we visited Ikalo Kiboko, as my colleagues mentioned. And we also managed to have a very good meeting in the Argentina embassy in Nairobi. And we also now, another activity was to establish now a fenced demo plot, which is a unique demo plot, I can say, which is now a very nice area to learn for the forage production. But I also think the construction of the irrigation system, which is solar powered, which is free pumping with the solar energy, which was constructed by Rikoto, a consultant from Arusha. Main aims of this demo plot, which was supported by GIZ, is to support research purposes for Talili. Talili see this demo plot as very, very good area for research now and the future. But you also see the support of Talili in the forage seed production. Because it is irrigated, now we can produce seeds throughout the year, where we used to depend seed production only during the rain season. But now during the dry season, we can also produce seeds. So throughout the year, this demo plot can serve as seed production plot for supporting the seed production efforts done by Talili. But we also see now the support to farmers, learning good practice of forage production. And also, it is now a very big support to agricultural colleges who were also attached at Talili centers. And now we can see this demo plot as a very good area for learning practically. Students who come from different colleges in Tanzania to be attached for 1 month, 2 months, depending on their field attachment to the institute. Now, as you can see, this is the demo plot established at West Kilimanjaro in Siha district in the northern part of Tanzania, Kilimanjaro region. And this is now a demo plot which was supported by GIZ where now you can see the video. Sorry. As you can see now, if this, you can see now, this is the sprinkler irrigation in the demo plot, where it is the area fenced with the solar panels and the dam nearby. This is a nice thing for us to see what we can do during the dry season. Now, as you can see, we started a bit late, but I'm happy that since March, we started now planting our forages. At least we have managed to plant Guyana grass, Cenchrus ciliaris, Eragrostis superba, Neonotonia whitei, and Micropterium atropoparium as two legumes and 3 grasses. Now, as we go on, now we are happy that Talili West Kilimanjaro is getting many visitors to see the demo plot. As you can see, our deputy permanent secretary with the team visiting the well-established forages in the demo plot. And we are also, this was also in the blogs, network blogs. This visit was also shared in our Talili blogs. As you can see now, students from different agricultural universities now assisting Talili staff to do establishment in our areas. This is a good thing for the students to learn practically and do it when they go back homes or back to the university, at least they know practically what is done in the forage production areas. You can also see these are the students from universities, different universities, diploma, certificate, and degree level. But also, I'm very happy to inform the project that we are also engaging the nearby primary schools, which are from, as you can see, these students are from the pastoral communities. We are happy that this will be a learning platform, learning areas, so that we pastoralists can have children learning forage production, which is the main production constraint in the semi-arid areas. At least from the childhood, they can learn something to be done in their areas so that they can be good farmers in the future or modernize their farming from the pastoral communities. As you can see, our Manavita Jambia in front, she's also a team who is teaching students what is being done on the ground. And they are happy to ask questions, to reply when they are asked the questions, at least to have a new generation which will be really committed to the forage production, which to solve the future production of forage shortage. I'm happy to tell the project team or the meeting that we are now, we have just recently started, but at least we can totalize the number of 473 visitors to the demo plot, involving farmers, communities around the West Kilimanjaro, especially pastoralists, but also a number of students, as I have shown in the photo, and also government leaders who visit Talili West Kilimanjaro to appreciate what is being done on the demo plot, which was supported by GIZ. But also, all these visitors come to learn on how to produce forage biomass, but also practical training on forage seed production. Because of time, I would like to acknowledge my colleague, Dr. Hassan Mrutu, who is also a recently retired officer who was the co-PI of the project in part of Tanzania from the Ministry of Livestock and Fisheries. Professor Eric Komba, who is the Director General of Talili, who is implementing the project. I'm also, as introduced, recently retired, but not tired, research officer. Manavita Jambia, our fellow lady researcher in the project. Dr. Harriet Masawe, a zonal director at Talili West Kilimanjaro, who is supporting administrative issues to make sure the project is going on and to make sure the facilities are secure in the good hands of the director from Talili West Kilimanjaro. On behalf of Talili, our Director General, Professor Eric Komba, I would like sincerely to appreciate and to thank Alejandra and Helen from GIZ, who was very, very big support for funding and supervising implementation of the project. It was very short time for Tanzania to implement, but Lile, they were committed to make sure this thing is happening. But I'm also very happy to appreciate a very good collaboration from INTA Argentina and Carlo, my colleagues. It was a very, very good team of the project. And I'm very, very happy to mention and congratulate consultant Rikoto, specifically Harold Rema, who was very close on the ground to make sure this demo plot and construction, solar, and everything is done on the ground. And now the establishment of forages are very nice because of this guy. Harold Rema, congratulations for that. To end my presentation, I would like to thank everybody. Muchas gracias, as Argentina say, and asanteni sana, East African. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Jonas, for your presentation. Yes, I must say that this was the biggest challenge of the project, but fortunately we find the right people and the right process to do that, to carry it out this demonstration plot. I also would like to thank Mr. Eric Komba and Mr. Hassan Murutu, and also Helene and Harold Lema of Ricolto that did a great job in a very, very short time. So thank you very much to all of them. And now, before open the floor for your comments and your questions, we invite you to meet some of the women whose dedication and knowledge contributed to the project. And I would like to thank Paula Aguilera of INTA, who carefully edited this material, and my GIZ colleague Monica Cayate, who helped us to find the right words to introduce the women's voices in this video that you are going to see. And in this International Year of the Woman Farmer 2026, proclaimed by United Nations and led by FAO, we want to pay tribute to the women who sustain and transform agri-food systems every day. And through their own voices, these videos celebrate their contributions, their aspirations, their hopes for the future. This is above all a way to honor their strength, their leaderships, and their dreams.
Sorry, Alejandra, there is no sound of the video.
Oh. Let me check how we can solve this.
Hay que cambiar el puente.
Parece Samatia.
But also the pictures tell something. So worry not.
Let's see if okay. So you can see the images, yes, and let me know if
the images. It's okay.
Yeah.
Maybe you can put it
And-
from the beginning and then we start again.
yeah.
No,
Please tell me if you can hear the sound now.
Now it is okay, Alejandra.
Thank you.
Yes, yes, yes.
I work in the livestock section. I chose to go and study and be a vet. So working with animals is my dream job. My plans for the future is to continue building my career. I'm dreaming to do a PhD, but because I already did my master's in Kenya, I'd love to do it in another country in different field conditions and different maybe breeds of animals from what we have here. I'm still taking a lot of time to have experience, also when I'm in Kalu, because as a Maasai, we have a lot of challenges, so I will use this time to gain more to give back to the society. First of all, I want to go for my master's. I did statistics. I love working here because they give us the field to evolve and have more knowledge on research, also in analyzing using a lot of software techniques. I work with forages. We laid out the experimental plot for GIZ projects, and we have been collecting several sets of data to assess the performance of the seeds.
I would like to continue studying and researching on different grass species and plant species to be among the scientists providing the practical solutions to the farmers in the livestock industry. And lastly, to pursue master's degree as part of building my career in range and pasture management.
I'm working as a livestock research assistant, designing and conducting research activities, participating in extension work and outreach, and transfer of technology to farmers. The first dream is to become a good researcher. The product of research can help farmers to improve their local breeds of goats. I expect it to improve my career. And I wish, if God wishes, I could get a scholarship so that I can reach my goals to obtain my own need without depending on a man. Yeah, I'm appreciated to be a woman.
I'm Randy scientist. I work as a livestock officers. We have good relationships with our neighbors through providing their pasture seeds in order to produce their own pasture seeds and forage for their animal production for sustainability of their livestock. Okay, my future plan is to become a good researcher, recognize the problems of their farmers and their solutions so as to increase the production.
Okay. Hope you have enjoyed these beautiful images and voices. And now it's time to open the floor for questions, comments, insights. I see that there is a lot of people that were involved in the project, so feel free to share your comments or ask your questions, please. Yeah, the first one is Manuel. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ali. Well, I want to thank Roxana, Fernando, Bosco, and Jonas for your presentations, your very pregnant presentations with a lot of images, so that you know this speech, one image says more than 1,000 words, but it was very important to understand with the images what you have been doing all this time. And I think that's also important that you are not only doing a good work, you are talking about it. So very important just to show the results of the work. I was very impressed of the impact and of the benefit to different target groups. For example, farmers, students, children, institutions, and at least women researchers. So I think we have to reach also the youth, because the youth is dreaming the changes and the improvements to make a better world. And I just have a very simple question for Bosco. It's only an understanding question, because you show these pictures of the ground that I was asking myself, how much time does it need for this grass to grow that high that you show?
Bosco.
Okay. The grass was actually, when we established the demo plots, this is one of the times we had very good rainfall conditions in East Africa. So with good conditions, within 3 months, that grass will be at that particular height, and that is exactly what happened. So this period between last year, May, and this year, we've had very good rainfall conditions. So that's why the grass was looking very good like that and that's tall. So within 3 months with good conditions, everything is okay.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Yes.
If anyone would like to, Hassan, how are you, Hassan?
Yeah, I'm very fine. How are you too?
Very well.
Yeah.
Yes.
Actually, I'm so happy personally for the achievement we have made. I thank GIZ. I thank actors, Ken, you know, and others who participated in these, activities. Actually, Ken did a lot. I thank Helen from Tanzania. Actually, we didn't know that organization which could do that. She led us to the big extent that we have achieved the demo plots in Tanzania. Well, lastly, I wish GIZ could keep on, assisting us so that, this was the first component we made in those days. But we had animal health, we had also animal breeding and the others. So I wish now could strengthening this and then go far for other components, as I mentioned. Thank you so much, Fernando, Diago, Roxana. I can see Meleric, well, Helen already. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Hassan. It's great to hear you. Helene.
I feel like I
Hi.
have to say something. So
Yes.
greetings to everybody. It's nice to see so many familiar faces. I just wanted to give back some of the thank yous that have been mentioned. It was indeed a great team spirit, I think, across the world, you could say. So all in all, I think it was a very important and interesting experience. Also implementing this project within our portfolio, we were struggling a little bit in the beginning, and already at the end of the project, we were struggling again. But yeah, I'm very impressed by the overall success. And I think this is maybe our common strength of all the institutions which were involved. And yeah, we have to congratulate each other for that, for our flexibility, connectivity, openness to create solutions, to connect quickly, to understand quickly what the whole issue is about and what to do next. So yeah, thanks from my side to everyone who was involved. It was a very appreciating collaboration, and I think this makes every process very special. Thanks also to you.
Thank you. Thank you, Helene. Anyone else? I see no rising hands. Okay. Dr. Andrew Chota and then Cynthia from the embassy. Dr. Chota.
Okay, thank you very much. My name is Andrew Chota. I'm from Hariri in Tanzania. I would like to congratulate all the team for a nice work well executed, and for the presenters for their very nice presentation, which has been very informative. And with the pictures, we have seen what is going on the ground, which is very, very, very impressive and very, very, very good. For us in Tariri, we have seen what has been done in Tariri West Kilimanjaro, and the outcome we expect from that establishment. My little question is, as the other presentation showed, the first one, we have those semi-arid areas in around 60 to 80% of the country. And my question is it possible to have an extension of the same in other areas? Thank you very much.
Thank you. I think it's the question for the technical team.
Yeah. For Kenya, actually, KALRO itself has different institutions in terms of institutes, which are located across the country in almost most of the region, which is spread across. And KALRO Kiboko demo plot is not only at our site, but all other KALRO centers are also trying to establish their own plots using different projects and also different their own sources of funding. So for us, it's a possibility. But as we said, we also work in collaboration with other local governments. So through them, we've been able, through other projects, to do the same activities. I wouldn't want to go into the details, but all I know is we are working with other county governments to have demonstration plots across the different counties through other projects, which are mostly funded by development partners and also the county governments themselves. So it's a possibility to have them across the country, because the arid and semi-arid lands is a huge component that is providing a lot of resources in terms of products such as livestock production, which mainly comes from these particular regions. So it's a possibility, and it's possible to do that.
Thank you, Bosco. Now I see Cynthia from the Embassy of Argentina, our host in Kenya. You are muted, Cynthia. No, we cannot hear you, Cynthia. No. While you try to fix that, I give the floor to my colleague in Kenya, Petra Jacobi.
Thank you very much, Alex. No,
thank you. Yes, okay. We can hear you. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I just wanted to join my colleague from Tanzania. Actually, I think first of all, actually, congratulations to all the different teams, because for me this project was also quite a learning on how you can collaborate between countries on a very, very important topic. And I remember when we first heard about the initiative, and then we were trying to sort out how can we actually get the things on the ground. I think it was a bit of a headache, but I think if I look at the pictures, and I mean, I know Bosco is here and Halima is here, I think it was really worth it, and really putting the heads together. Let's say we want to get that done in the countries and with the teams, and I think it just shows that if you want to do it, it can be done, and I think it's a great success. And looking at the topic, I mean, we are in Kenya just preparing for the World Drought Day, which is on the 17th of June, and we have the year of the rangelands this year. So I think this project and the results which have been achieved are really a perfect fit to what we are discussing at the moment in Kenya, but also on the international level. So I think really congratulations to all. I think we are also proud here in Kenya to be part of that initiative. And yeah, I think as Bosco had said, more is to come from the results, and I think they will be shared, and I think they will be well used. Thank you very much, and asanteni sana from Kenya.
Thank you, Petra, and thank you for your support and the support of Vincent and your team that was behind the implementation of the plot. So thank you very much again. Cynthia, let's try again. No, it's not possible. No, I'm sorry. Okay. Okay, I see Mr. Kabuni Thomas. Please. You have the floor.
Yeah, thank you.
We hear you very, very low.
Okay. How far now?
No.
Oh, we don't hear you, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hello.
If not, you can write your question. We can read it.
Yeah. That's Cynthia, the same.
Cynthia, you can also write if you want. We can read your questions. Okay. Okay. So, Mr. Kabuni, please try to write your question. We can read it. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Cynthia. Thank you also for hosting us, for also made us a room for presenting the project there in Tanzania, in Kenya, at the embassy. So it was a great opportunity for us, for the project. And I think while you write, if any, okay, I see Harold. Harold Lema is also raising the hand. You have the floor, Harold.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you, JZ, Tanzania, also Kenya, and Argentina for the good work that they've done. Also, thanks for Taliri for giving us the opportunity to collaborate to do the consultants' work for establishing the demo plot. It was really very interesting job, though it was short time, but really, I would say thank you so much for your collaboration and the support that you get during the process. But importantly, the work was done very good. The grass are very, yeah, I'm not a scientist, but I would say in terms of the grasses, I hope that they have enough nutrients that can make very good achievement for the animal health. Yeah, but importantly, I would request Taliri also to kind of go ahead on post-harvest management of this grass, because like in this place is quite arid, it's quite dry, especially during the dry season. So I think the storage of these grasses is the most important. So if there is any possibilities of extending the demonstration plots to cover this aspect, I think that would be great. And then I would recommend the issue of silage or maybe the development of the A's. The A's I think is very important, but I know traditionally this some of the livestock keepers, they do keep this gray, but it is loosely kept. As such, the rate of oxidation is quite high, which make it undigestible or not making any health effect to the animal once taken during the dry season. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Harold, for your work. There's a lot of work to do still. And I see Manavita, our friend.
Thank you, Alejandra. I just introduced myself. My name is Manavita Omar Jambia. I'm working at Tariri. My concern is I really appreciating JZ for the supporting. They really make West Kilimanjaro to be a good place for pasture seed and forage production. So my concern is I promise you to make this project to be sustainable for the future generation. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Now I think we can go to the final part of this seminar. Thank you everybody for being here and for your questions and comments. And I give now the floor to Fernando Guzman, who will moderate the next session.
Thank you very much, Alejandra. And now we are reaching the last part of this closing seminar. So we have some time for the closing words. Some authorities will say some closing words. And in the first place will be Dr. Fabian Magawa Madele, which is the Deputy Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Livestock and Fisheries of Tanzania. So, Dr. Madele, the floor is yours. Are you in the room, Dr. Madele? I don't know.
We are not seeing him.
I'm not seeing him in the screen, so maybe
we can continue.
We can continue. I will pass the floor to Dr. Halima
Hello.
Linkari. Hello, Dr. Madele.
Hello, I'm Samuel Mdachi on behalf of Dr. Madele.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm hearing you.
Clear.
On behalf of Dr. Madele,
Okay.
I am Samuel Mdachi, the Director of Research, Training and Extension Services
Minister of Livestock, Honorable Chair, distinguished delegates, esteemed partner, ladies and gentlemen, good evening for Tanzanian and the other good afternoon for Argentina. It is my honor on behalf of the government of the United Republic of Tanzania and the Minister of Livestock and Fisheries to address this internal closing meeting of our Triangular Cooperation Project. Over the past 3 years, this initiative, financially supported and coordinated by GIZ and implemented in partnership with Argentina, Kenya and Tanzania, has demonstrated the power of collaboration in strengthening livestock systems and advancing agri-food sustainability in our region. Dear delegates, I am aware of the key achievement of this project in Tanzania, which include 1. Capacity building, where researchers, extension officers, and government actors and the farmers have benefited from training, exchange visits, and workshops. This engagement have enhanced technical expertise and fostered knowledge transfer. Second one, the technology identification, where through participatory process, farmers and extension officers in Longido and the Siha district identified and tested suitable forage technologies, including selective bush clearing, oversowing of forage seeds, half-moon structure for water retention and forage conservation using wooden high boxes. Third one, demonstration plot, where a 10-acre irrigated demonstration plot was successfully established at Tariri, West Kilimanjaro, serving a hub for forage and seed production, training, and innovation. These achievements have not only improved forage production, but also strengthened resilience in semi-arid ecosystem, directly contributing to food security, rural income, and sustainable livestock management. Dear delegates, on behalf of Minister of Livestock and Fisheries, let me extend the deepest appreciation to 1. German GIZ for its financial support and coordination of this triangular cooperation. Second one, Argentina Minister of Foreign Affairs, Minister of Economy, and INTA. Third one, Kenya Minister of Agriculture and Livestock Development, State Department for Livestock and Carlo. Tanzania is Tariri, which is our institution for research, who implemented the project, and the consultant who constructed the demonstration port at Tariri, West Kilimanjaro. Dear delegates, as we close this chapter, let us recognize that the journey continues. This lesson learned here must be scaled up to reach more communities, strengthen regional cooperation, and embed climate-smart practice in livestock systems. I'm also informed that Argentina has initiated effort to start a new project, which we welcome as the continuation of the fruitful collaboration. Tanzania remains committed to advancing this effort, ensuring inclusivity and building resilience for future generations. Dear delegates, in inclusion, this project has proven that when nations unite in purpose, we can transform challenges into opportunity. Together, we have laid a strong foundation for sustainable livestock system in East Africa and nation as well. With those few remarks, I wish to you all the best in your future collaboration efforts. Thank you for listening. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Samuel Dachi. Thank you very much for your kind and appropriate words. Now I will give the floor to Dr. Halima Nkari, which is the Senior Deputy Director of Livestock Production Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock, State Department of Livestock, Kenya. Halima, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Fernando. You can hear me?
Yes, very well, Halima.
Yes. It is already dark in Kenya. Good evening, everyone, and good afternoon, those in Argentina. I'm happy to be part of this. It's a privilege. On behalf of the government of Kenya, it's my pleasure to say a few remarks. Having been part of this program from the beginning to now, first and foremost, I would wish to start from where we started with this. I became the focal point, but we had Cleopas Okore and Dr. Abraham Sangula, who are spearheading this South-South cooperation when we began in 2017 to 2020, and of course Fernando and his team. So from a bilateral South-South cooperation supported by the government of Kenya and the government of Argentina and the FOR to a triangular cooperation supported by GIZ. So that is growth, and we appreciate all the parties. In Kenya, particularly, we want to appreciate the Embassy of Argentina. They have been very supportive and they've given us a lot of cooperation. We've had, I think, two ambassadors, and the teams have also changed, but they've been very, very supportive, and they have made our work easy. Working with them has been quite interesting. And of course, they have hosted us all the time. We've had the guests from Argentina. So thank you very much. I also want to appreciate the researchers, the extensionists, the farmers, the pastoralists in Kenya who have made this work possible. Those we have visited, the work we have done. You have seen the presentation from Bosco and his team. The farmers they visited, the farmers they've worked with, including the students. I think that was quite a good thing. We have also worked with partners who have exposed the technical teams. We've had a lot of workshops and conferences, which have helped us improve our skills and get to know more. ILRI has supported us in the workshops, and also an NGO called Just Dig It. CALRO, of course, has also been party to that. And of course, that means then, of course, Taliri and INTA have also been part of all these workshops and exposure. So I would also want to say that the exchange tours have helped us to learn a lot. I have been part of those exchange visits to Argentina and, of course, the Argentinians coming to Kenya. Unfortunately, I did not go to Tanzania, but I'm sure we will visit Tanzania soon. Taliri, wait for us. We will come and see the sustainable plots that you are preparing, and they're already on the ground. So we wish that these activities continue. I think Mwanamvita has said that she is going to work hard to ensure that the project is sustainable. That is a good thing, because we'd want the younger generation to continue from where we have reached. The plots are there for the teams to learn and continue with the work. So that already is a positive thing on the project, and it means that it is something that will go on for several years as more and more people learn and gain experience from that. The participatory workshops were very interactive, and we had a lot of activities which are exposed to us through the workshops, and a lot of interaction between the scientists, the researchers, the extension agents, policymakers, and even the farmers who participated in those workshops. That was a very positive thing, and it is a way of having information, communication, and capacity development of all the parties. In terms of funding,
we got funding from GIZ. I said when we started the bilateral, the South-to-South cooperation, we were supported by FAOR and the respective governments. But again, this, as I said earlier in previous interactions, that this is the beginning. We cannot say we are stopping here. This is a trial. You have seen this has worked. The results are speaking, and we now need to upscale. So it is good for us to now move to the next level. How do we upscale these success stories? How do we ensure that the projects are sustainable so that now we have a bigger impact? Most of the work was done in the research institutions. Now we need to go out to the pastoralist communities and see, will it also be successful while out there? Because at the end of the day, we are doing all this for the sake of the pastoralists. So that is something that we can see as a way forward. As we conclude this part, we open a new chapter and see how best we can deal with that. We have also, I've had the privilege of making the presentation in conferences. I was supported to go to Brazil during the 7th Regional Conference on Trilateral Cooperation by GIZ, and I presented what we are doing in this project. And that was also a very good interaction, and it was very good to have had the opportunity. We also did a paper with the team from Brazil, from Argentina, with Fernando and Roxana and Bosco. So the paper was presented last year. I went for the International Rangeland Congress in Adelaide, Australia. I had another paper from Kenya, so I presented that also because Fernando was unable to attend. Of course, the resources are not enough, but that is also an opportunity to highlight the achievements of the GIZ-supported projects, and it was good to see what others are also presenting from different countries. So when this kind of opportunities come, it is good for us to also share our experiences, and it was a good thing. We have also, we also have a paper that has been accepted for presentation in September in Australia. Again, they have the Australian Rangeland Conference in September. So we are hoping that this time Fernando should, if possible, can present the results now that we have, and we've seen how good we have done. So that would also be a good thing, and also to show the world that these things are possible with the limited resources, with the resources that we got. It is possible to achieve results. So that is something that we could also try to see how that can be done. More importantly, we have younger researchers. You have seen Bosco is working with young researchers in Calro Kiboko. That is a good thing. So we are going to see how that can also be enhanced, as well as the extension service providers and even farmers. If they see the results we have, then that will make things work better for us. So you saw that the grass grew very well. It was a good year that we got good rains, but more importantly, timing was very important. I think one of the things that made us was the delay in getting the resources at the right time, but the timing went well and it worked for us. The rains came at the right time, and in ASAL areas, when you have good rains at the beginning, and the growth usually works very well. So that the timing element was very important. In terms of technologies and innovations, we learned quite a lot from Argentina. More importantly, we realized that mechanization is the way to go. Our ASAL areas are very vast, and we cannot say we are going to do manual. And even the pastoralists in Kenya do not do things manually. So the issue of mechanization is one thing that we also need to upscale, and we are borrowing a lot from the roller chopper in Argentina. it is something that we would wish to see how that can be done in both Tanzania and Kenya, so that we are able to see that we improve more of our rangelands, because in Kenya, you were told by Roxana in her presentation, it is more than 80% rangeland. So you can imagine how vast it is. We cannot achieve much if we go manual. So we really need to see how we can work together and continue sharing the technologies and the innovations and see how best to do. The other thing we learned the first time we went to Argentina was the issue of prioritizing what needs to be done in terms of research, so that anyone wanting to do the research with you is going as per the priorities of the country. So that again was something we learned from Argentina, and we want to continue doing that in terms of our research agenda priorities. So that was also something very good that we learned, and we are hoping that at policy level we can push for that. Of course, we do not miss the challenges. When we started, I think before this project, we had COVID, but at the same time, there were solutions. We had a lot of online interaction, online conferences, online exchange of information. It still worked for us, and for every challenge, you get a solution. So we had those covered, and we really appreciated all that participated in that. And that is how now we were able to carry on to this project that now became a triangular cooperation. I would want to emphasize that without feeds, there's no livestock. So what this project has achieved and is showing the world is that it is possible to have feeds so that we have better livestock. And in Kenya right now, we have a huge demand for livestock in terms of our meat. We cannot satisfy the international market, and because of the low numbers of livestock. And the low numbers are because we do not have enough feeds. So once we get the feeds, then we should be able to see how best we can improve our rangelands, have more feeds, forages, pastures, browse, and that will help us improve our livestock. So there's still a big opportunity in Kenya to ensure that we improve our livestock, and that is one of the flagship issues with our current government. So that means when the livestock are happy, the pastoralist is happy, and of course that means also there is a lot of food security and income. So as I said, I will repeat, this is the beginning, not the end. We are closing one and opening a new door. So we would want to take this to the next level. And I would really want to appreciate GIZ. Currently, we have a new project called Catalyzing Transformation Towards Sustainable Livestock Systems. It's called LiveSys, which is being supported by GIZ. And we are hoping that it will also help us in the livestock sector. I was telling them GIZ has not been very active in the livestock sector, but now they have come in a big way, and we are hoping that we can continue working more and get more results from the livestock projects supported by GIZ, and maybe other development partners should be able to borrow from the achievements through the support from GIZ. So I would want to end there and thank everyone for your support, for what you've been able to achieve, and for all the things we have done together. We will not stop here. We want to continue with the cooperation and develop more and more, and work even with more countries so that we have more maybe regional projects that discovering more, maybe more of the East African countries together with Argentina. And it was very strategic that we have a lot of similarities. Our ASAL areas are similar to the ASAL areas in Argentina, and that was a big plus. So that helped us to really see how we can work together and achieve all we can in this project. So thank you very much, and wish you all the best as we continue working together. Asanteni sana, muchas gracias. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Halima. Muchas gracias. Thank you very much for your kind words, appropriate, and for reminding us so many things that we have been done during this cooperation. Now I will give the floor to Dr. Maria Comelli, which is, she belongs to the Directorate of Cooperation and Bilateral Negotiations of the Secretariat of Agriculture, Livestock and Fisheries of the Ministry of Economy of Argentina. Maria, the floor is yours.
Well, thank you, Fernando. Thank you all, dear authorities, officials, professionals from Kenya, Tanzania, Germany, and Argentina. It is a great pleasure for me to have participated in this regional and triangular technical cooperation project and to share with you this closing virtual meeting. Given us it is all these successful results that you have already mentioned, and we are sure that we continue generating opportunities to ensure the continuity of this cooperation. In this regard, I wish to thank you all for all your distinguished presence, and especially I want to congratulate to everyone who made this virtual meeting possible, and particularly for the professionals of Kenya, Tanzania, and Argentina for their commitment and work on this project, which contributes to further development of and strengthen cooperation ties between the three countries, Argentina, Kenya, and Tanzania, and to think that the regional cooperation, it is possible to do it. And I also want to thank very much to GIC for its participation and support through the project. Without their collective collaboration, this regional project would not have been carried out. So we are very thankful about the work done between the three countries, but also with Germany and the GIC. As a leading country in innovation of agri-industrial production, Argentina is committed to contribute to global food security through the export capacity, but also strengthening South-South and triangular international cooperation efforts. In this regard, the Secretary of Agriculture, Livestock and Fishery, together with the Argentine Fund for International Cooperation of the Argentine Ministry of Foreign Affairs, promotes an active policy for the development of technical cooperation projects in agri-industrial sector. In these terms of cooperation, the Secretary of Agriculture, Livestock and Fishery has 86 cooperation agreements in agri-industrial sector signed with 50 countries worldwide, and participate in the implementation of 33 technical cooperation projects within the framework of the FOAR in 30 countries. Some of the main areas that we collaborate and we do cooperation in Argentina, providing the technical assistance through our specialists of the Secretary and our institutions like INTA, SENASA, the Institution of Viticulture, and the National Institution of Fisheries. Some of the areas that we work always, it is about sustainable agricultural development, non-till farming, post-harvest technology, improvements of livestock and dairy production, strengthening on the agriculture extension system, fishery and agriculture, biotechnology and shed addition, agri-food production, forestry and industrial development, apiculture, sustainable soil and water management, vitiviniculture, and animal and plant health. Regarding cooperation with Kenya and Tanzania, I would like to highlight that we had already developed a bilateral project with Kenya that was made by already mentioned, and that was focused on the improving livestock production. And this triangular and regional project allowed us also to further deep this ties on also with Tanzania, and we are very hope to continue this future project with Tanzania to continue working on this in improving the livestock in this country. Finally, I would like to emphasize the excellent work carried out by the specialists from the three countries. The work has not only facilitated a fluid exchange of knowledge and expertise among the cooperating institutions, but also has enabled them to meet the project objectives. All the workshop that they are mentioned, but I would like to emphasize in the demonstration float that I think that is a very huge effort that we have made, and this is very important for us to know that this cooperation will be continued, that the persons that have already visited the demonstration plot and they will still doing it and learning development and learning these technical capacities that we can show at that demonstration plot. I would like to conclude with the greeting and emphasize we are very, very happy about and satisfied to complete this project, having accomplished everything we set out to do at the beginning of this project. And we hope to continue developing a collaborative process together. Thank you very much for listening, and I hope to see you again in future exchanges. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Maria. I appreciate very much your commitment with this project. Well, now, at the end of this part of the meeting, Dr. Ariel Pereda, the National Director of the National Institute of Agricultural Technology of Argentina, will say some words. Dr. Ariel Pereda, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Fernando, and good evening for those in Kenya and Tanzania. Buenas tardes for those in Argentina. I will try to be as brief as possible. The distinguished authorities, representative of the government of Kenya, Tanzania, Germany, and Argentina, authorities of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, for the Secretary of Agriculture, GIZ, colleagues and dear teams from Argentina, Kenya, and Tanzania. It is an honor for me to participate in this closing seminar of this important project of strengthening livestock systems and agri-food sustainability, an initiative that clearly exemplifies the value of international cooperation in addressing shared challenges. More than a 10-year project, it has been a platform for building trust, sharing knowledge, and working together toward common goals. Its central objective to strengthen technical and institutional capacities for smallholder livestock systems, particularly in arid and semi-arid regions, has been addressed through a highly valuable approach that is combining knowledge generation, field-based validation, and participatory work with local actors. Allow me to highlight 3 achievements that, in my view, summarize the impact of this project. First, the strengthening of human and institutional capacities. Researchers, extensionists, and technical teams for our countries have shared knowledge, experience, and methodologies, generating mutual learning that extends well beyond the scope of the project. Second, the development of context-adapted technological solutions. Through participatory analysis and collaborative work, we have identified context-adapted technological solutions for forage resource management and livestock production, with a strong emphasis on sustainability. As far as I could see in the presentation, in the reports, and also in the pictures, there are many opportunities ahead that come to my mind to go further on future collaborations. As I can remember, we have a lot of work to do in fertilizers to improve soil, irrigation systems, grass varieties, and land intervention and mechanization. Third, the establishment of experimental and demonstration plots as platforms for innovation, training, and engagement with producers. This is excellent work. Now the challenge is to continue spreading and upscale these results and technology. I want to brief this, saying from plots to communities, from plots to pastoralists. The technical missions conducted in Argentina, Kenya, and Tanzania have also been essential in helping us to better understand the shared challenges we face in co-designing context-specific responses. From an institutional perspective, this project highlights the importance of triangular cooperation as a tool for shared learning among countries in the Global South. For INTA, participating alongside institutions such CalRO and Paliri has been a valuable opportunity for strengthening both our technical capacities and our strategic partnerships. Today, we are not simply closing a project. We are building the foundation for future collaboration. The capacity is built, the partnership established, and the line of work defined, open new opportunities to continue advancing this path of cooperation. I would like to express my sincere appreciation to GIZ for its support and commitment, as well as all the institutions and technical teams that made this project possible, and especially to those on the ground, producers, technicals, extensionists, and communities, who have been the true protagonists of this process. Finally, the challenges ahead are complex, but experiences like this show us that working together, we can advance toward a more sustainable and resilient agri-food system. So thank you very much. Asante sana. Vielen Danke. Muchas gracias.
Thank you very much, Dr. Pereda. Thank you very much for your commitment and for supporting the activities in this project. Well, now we are at the end of this meeting. Alejandra kindly gave me the opportunity to say some final words, so I will be very brief, but I'd like to take some pics of the words that you have been saying along this meeting. It has been a long process in which we have been working together, and as Dr. Manuel Novoa said at the beginning of this meeting, development is not only sharing technology. It is necessary to go ahead more with a lot of activities apart from sharing. I'd like to say that in this project, we have been working with a win-win strategy in which we can learn from each other. We put our knowledge, our technology available for the others, but we learn a lot from the experiences and from the development of the others, and not only from the scientific developments, but also from the tacit knowledge. So we think that in this cooperation, we have been working together in the way for development. As Halima highlighted, this is maybe the beginning, because the process of developments are very long. and we are doing the first steps. We have been working together with identifying problems, analyzing restrictions, and looking for solutions, technological solutions from different points of view. And in this way, it was possible to work with an interdisciplinary team, and the technological solutions has been built together. So I also want to thank all the institutions involved in this project, the Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock Development of Kenya, the Ministry of Livestock and Fisheries of Tanzania, the Secretariat of Agriculture and Livestock and Fisheries of Argentina, the National Institute for Agricultural Technology of Argentina, and especially the GIZ for supporting this project. Its commitment to sustainable rural development and international cooperation has been essential for strengthening the livestock systems of our countries. So thank you very much to all of you, and then I will give the floor to Alejandra for the closing of this meeting.
So thank you. It was very nice to see you all in this closing meeting, to hear the words of the congratulations and the achievements we already have with this project. And I feel proud and honored and very emotional now. So I just want to say thank you. And it's a good thing to think that it's not finished, it's not the end, it's the beginning of a lot of important things that we can do together. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Bye.
Bye. Thank you very much, everybody.
Bye. See you.
Bye. Thank you. Thank you, Alejandra. Good day.
Bye. Thank you, everyone.
Well done.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, Alejandra.
Thanks.
Maybe everyone can turn on the cameras for a final photo.
Oh. Okay, we have a video. Okay, those that are here, we can make a picture. Sorry, Gonzalo was also a key person in this project. He was moving all the papers, and he's thank you very much for
Gonzalo. Your participation has been very important for us.
You can take a picture because I've not seen the. I cannot see them.
No, because I ended the meeting.
Okay. Take a picture with the phone. Okay, let's okay.
Unfortunately, my camera is not working, so you cannot see me.
Ahí va. Espectacular. Smile, everyone. Okay.
Thank you very much. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Kwaheri.
Asante.
Asante.
Asante sana.
Igualmente. Gracias.